Amazing video. Thanks everybody for connecting. These are lines that are constructed on the surface of the moon. It's many hundreds of kilometers wide. The objects are, constructed objects are anywhere from 20 to 60 kilometers long and maybe 10 to 30 kilometers wide. They're on the surface of the moon. This is at the end of the Sinus Iridum Mountain, not hiding it. Here it is itself, the Sinus Iridum Mountain, where we can see the construction, which I've showed you before, that's over top of the Sinus Iridum, also with the connections, square rectangles, but like those lines, but the patches, as you can see here, which are blurry patches. Remember the crater Clavius that I showed you? Well, look. This is right beside Clavius. It's in the bottom. That crater there poking out in the bottom is Clavius, bottom. And over top, the square with lines. It looks like another tunnel or tower or something connected to the crater itself. These squares are appearing alongside most of the craters. And if you can't see them, it's because they're hidden. Squares are not formed by meteors, right? When a meteor lands, unless it's a block, a Lego block, a giant Lego block coming, it's not going to make a square for sure, right? Everybody knows that. The little bit of education that I've gotten in archaeology and stuff, I know for a fact that, simpleton people are looking at this stuff and it's just bullcrap, right? They're trying to pull one over on us. Look at the constructed objects reaching over top and across the craters and connected with high-rising objects and towers all around most of the craters. This large, extremely large square would be about 40 kilometers long beside Bianchini crater. It's symmetrical, it's built. Let's look at it quickly, a couple of other angles, because we're going back to where Clavius crater is, which, by the way, I just showed you another square beside Clavius crater. We're going to see a tower, but all the objects that are around it. If that was built hundreds of years ago, how are they maintaining themselves so clean? How come they're still on the surface? Here, just another glance at Tycho crater. A little blurry here because we're close and there's atmosphere on the moon. And that's a line leaving Tycho crater going into the ground at other craters not far. Not just a tower. Looks like there's a second tower. Was I blind? Did I not see that yesterday? There's a line going to that area, like a base platform too, right there. Dark line. Is it growing? Is it getting longer? Not noticed this area before. We can clearly see it. Looks like a setup. And it is also where NASA declares there's water on the moon. So, would that be an area where they would go and land, right? Are they going to see the tower or are they going to see the water? I don't know, but that object is there. Let's take a really close look at it. And of course, you could be sure I'll be doing some comparisons with older footage, if not in this video, to see if that bloody object was always there. Maybe, probably, I didn't notice it. It could be there as it always has, but it still is a towering object. And there's not just one towering object. We can see a shadow coming from it. Let's take a long, slow look at it. And a second dark object, whether it be a tower or not, it is beside the tower it's like the tower is an L, right? You see it like the shadow going up with the line beside it, but there's another dark spot beside it. And of course, this very curious black line that has objects going across the other way over it in front of that dark line. This is a meteor coming into Earth's orbit that I was able to capture last night. Wanted to share with you. This is in infrared. Here's an object traveling 10 times faster than any star in the sky, and it's going towards the moon, but it just looks like a galaxy or a star floating around, and it's not, and it's going pretty fast. This is with the CGXL 14-inch telescope, no filter, straight up filming the sky. The reason why I was able to capture this, which is rare with the telescope, because I am not filming the moon. Therefore, the illumination is not blinding me, and it's permitting me to see further in space. So I filmed the moon 2 days ago. Let's go take a look to see what it looks like, and I'm hoping tonight and or tomorrow to be able to film it because it's supposedly very close. I haven't seen it looking very close yet, but we're going to analyze the objects that are off the edges. On the top there you can see, which is actually the bottom of the moon. It's actually just flipped right over, and don't forget, it's close to where Clavius Crater is on the bottom side of the moon, and that is where they're saying they're finding water. It's where we just saw at the beginning of the video, and that spaceship-like object that's lifting up off the surface, we'll take a look at that. Some other areas on the moon, and of course from the footage that I got just recently. Their tower-like object or tunnel literally poking out of the ground on the moon there. So you're looking at the recent moon. This was 2 days ago. This is when I filmed the moon. I'll be out tonight. Also look for it yesterday, wind, rain, and had some bad turmoiling weather here. So I'll be getting some tonight too and be checking that out for you. Still not many infrared captures with the UFO. It's been 2 weeks. There's the supposed Apollo 11 landing site. The moon's out tonight. Let's see if we'll get anything. I'll be watching. Thank you kindly for the support, everyone. If it wasn't for my amazing community, this channel wouldn't even exist. Thanks a whole bunch, everyone. I really appreciate it. Slow disclosure is in progress. More information will be coming. A lot more.
This is Houston. Say again, please.